Sky, top rope, over the moonsault, connects. Sky, cover, hooks the leg.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest and
Acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, we're here at the Red Carpet Ring. We're going to talk about WWE Raw Elimination Chamber Fallout, Rhea Ripley versus Iyo Sky for the Women's World Title in the main event. Let's get the lights as we come into the ring. It's the first Elimination Chamber after at first Raw after Elimination Chamber, Let's get in. Let's talk about the match card as follows before we get into it. Now, of course, we're going to have overall the show, and of course, we're going to talk about current news. And the bonus round of today is Bianca versus Iyo Sky for WrestleMania. Great idea. But before that, let's get into the match card, shall we? Now, for here, we got the Women's World Championship as the main event. We had actually 3 title matches. We had the World Tag Team Championship match, War Raiders versus the Creed Brothers. We had Lyra Valkryia defend her Women's Intercontinental Championship for the second week in a row against Ivy Nile. CM Punk speaks, Seth Rollins speaks, and Bianca Belair makes a Raw appearance. But let's get into it. CM Punk, man, he kicked off Raw. Oh, man. He was fired up. This is the opening segment. CM Punk already came in with fire. You know, he was hot about the whole Rock and Cena for what they was doing. He was not feeling that at all. Not feeling at all what they was doing. It was crazy, though. Definitely crazy. I know he was not happy of the whole heel turn of that, but man, he went on both Cena and Rock, called them all frauds. He did that. He just took it to a whole another level like no other. He definitely did that. Dev was not happy about how that turned out. And he has some things to say about Seth Rollins as well. He definitely has some words for Mr. Seth Rollins, if you guys remember, because he was just on one. He wasn't playing any games with that. If you guys remember what he said here, it was crazy though.
Becky Lynch, you better come get your man, because if I do before you do, I'm gonna put him in a wheelchair.
And that's when Seth Rollins' music hit. His music hit, and they just went at it. They start fighting. They got broken up by officials, Adam Pearce, and even later that night, they still was broken up by officials. And Adam Pearce, you know, he talked to Seth Rollins as he met with him backstage. And yes, for next week we will have a match. The match is a steel cage match, and it's going to be next Monday. The Monday Night Raw will be in Madison Square Garden, and it's going to be those two going at it. So that's going to be interesting to see how this is going to turn out between Punk and Seth freaking Rollins. Yeah, this is going to be definitely one, guys. This is wild. Wild, I tell you how this is going to go. Well, in that, though, you guys let me know what you thought of that. That was a great way to kick off the show. We're going to talk more about this, too, guys. We're going to definitely talk more about it. But let's get into the next part of the show. Now, we had a match here. Otis versus Gunther. 1-on-1. Non-title match, I believe. It was non-title match. But yeah, this was a wild thing. wild thing. These guys are going at it. These guys are not playing around with each other. Gunther, despite being dominant like he is, we did see some good offense from Otis. Otis had some good slams on Gunther. You guys was going back and forth. But I would say this was a good, solid match. May not get the credit deserved, but it was a very good match. Very good match. I think it's a underrated match. I would definitely say that myself. I will say, Otis held his own. He held his own against Gunther. I would not. I don't argue that for 1 second. They held it down. They did what they had to do, and there was no other way around it. Definitely no other way around it. But I like how these guys definitely, definitely, definitely was something crazy though. But I like how these guys went at it. And then afterwards, Gunther of course got the win. Then he tried to take down Otis and Akira Tozawa. Then Jay Uso came in. Now this was after the match was already over, and Gunther had won. Then we see A-Town Down Under coming down on Jay Uso. Jay Uso attacked Gunther. He went back to Gunther after Gunther attacked him. He also gave it to both Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and then Gunther got from behind. He hit the submission hold on Jay, stood over him with the World Heavyweight Championship. But this was a very good match as well. I like this ending. Definitely can't wait to see Gunther versus Jay Uso at WrestleMania 41. Let's get to the next part of the match. Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Ivy Nile challenges Lyra Valkryia for a title. Very good technical match by both women. Seems like they got good chemistry. Ivy Nile has some good technical moments, good offense. Lyra Valkryia, she played off the weak ankle leg, and she was able to come back. Very good comeback, some good near falls. Ivy Nile came in with the ankle lock. She tried to, but Lyra got to the ropes, and then Lyra Valkryia also had some more offense. She came back. She hit her finisher on Ivy Nile, and that was it. That's all she wrote, and she retained the belt. So I like this too. Very good, very good match from both women. I think it was a very good match. So much credit to Lyra and Ivy Nile. Now next up, we had an announcement here. Adam Pearce made the New York City announcement. Raw being in Madison Square Garden next week, and Ludwig Kaiser made his promo. Now we know that the announcement made that that's the match he first announced, and which I did mention a couple minutes ago. He was basically talking about the steel cage match between Punk and Seth Rollins in the steel cage next week at Madison Square Garden episode. And then we had Kaiser. He came out. Now he came out, had a promo. He came and talked about, of course, it's not over between him and Penta. He talked about the Luchador coming to WWE. Then we know that Penta came out. He came out and he got the upper hand on Kaiser. So these two are definitely going to have a feud. But I do like that Kaiser's getting more screen time. He's really more into his character as a heel, and he's stepping outside of Gunther's shadow. And of course, Penta doing what he does best, put on a great performance, whether he's in a match or not. He's always here to entertain us. But let's get on to the next part of the show. We do have a tag team title match, world tag team title match. War Raiders defend against the team of the Creed Brothers. Creed Brothers, now the last time they had a title match, we do know that these guys in the disqualification. However, this time around, we did see some good offense from Creed Brothers. They definitely brought it to more of the War Raiders, but the War Raiders were still too much enough for them. They was able to gain the pinfall victory, and they still retain the WWE World Tag Team Championships. But American made us over 3. Ivy Nile didn't win the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and also they didn't win either. Creed Brothers winning the tag team belts. And then, of course, Shaq Gable had a segment where he got a box. Speaking of American made. Let's get to the next part of the show. All right, we got Judgment Day. We know they want Braun Breaker. Now we saw that it was an interview between Jackie Redman and Braun Breaker. He said that he is a dog. Reason they want to target him. And when he asked the stance and hit the ring, Finn Balor came to approach him. But as Braun Breaker was going for Finn Balor, looking for him, Carlito, Dominic Mysterio interfered. He took both of them out. Next thing you know, he did chase Finn Balor off, but Carlito got that worked. And we know that Finn Balor and Braun Breaker are going to have a feud. More likely, it'll be for the Intercontinental Championship. But we'll see where it goes. Then, of course, the main event, we have the women's world title match. Iyo challenges Rhea Ripley for the title. Now, we know Bianca Belair came out. She said earlier she was, despite what's going on with the OJ Naomi thing, she didn't want to focus on that so much. But however, she did want to focus on see who she be facing at WrestleMania in the conclusion of the Iyo versus Rhea for the women's world title. And I would say that, they played off the whole Rhea can never defeat Iyo going back to NXT days. They played a video package of that. But everything they put in the ring, they put in that night. Iyo came at Rhea with everything she had. Rhea came at Iyo with everything she had. And I will say the one thing that messed her up, Rhea Ripley let her guard down. And then the whole turning point of the match is when she approached Bianca as she got out the ring. She said, and as Bianca was cheering them both on, she said, "Why are you clapping for Iyo?" She said, "Are you afraid to face Iyo instead of me? You afraid?" And Bianca said, "No." And she pushed Bianca. Bianca and Rhea had a big shoving back and forth. Referee Jessica Carr came in and said, "Stop it." Now, I know a lot of people are saying, why didn't this match end disqualification? It was pushing and shoving. Let me remind you guys, if you're not follow wrestling that well, don't know the rules that well, a disqualification ends at the referee's discretion. Now, remind you, it was pushing and shoving, no attacking, no hitting, no grabbing steel chairs or kendo sticks or a bat or anything. It was just two women shoving. And if you guys remember, let's take you back to SummerSlam 2024 when Seth Rollins was special guest referee against Drew and CM Punk. As a special guest referee, he said it. Everything's up to my discretion. I decide what goes and what doesn't. And that's not just for a special guest referee match. It's any match involving a referee. That's why the end is qualification, because Jessica Carr didn't believe it needed to. But let's continue on. As the shoving match was over, Bianca went back to her seat at ringside with commentary table. Rhea, of course, continued her match. Now, she was setting up to do the red start off the top rope with Iyo. She said, "See you at Bianca," looking at Bianca, but Rhea reversed it, hit her moonsault, and next thing you know, we got ourselves a brand new women's world champion, if you guys remember.
Iyo Sky top rope, over the moonsault, connects, Sky, cover, hooks the leg, Iyo!
Yeah, we have it. Brand new women's champion, Iyo Sky. And man, Iyo was happy like no other. Congratulations to Iyo. She's a brand new champion. She did her thing in that match. And, after the hard work she put in, I will say she got her victory. And, of course, Rhea was not too pleased about that. And, yes, we do have Bianca versus Iyo at WrestleMania 41 in Vegas. And also, if you guys know, also besides that, this is pretty much summed up everything that happened on Monday Night Raw for this episode. They announced the whole Cena thing turning, Cody, pretty much summed up everything. But we gotta get to the review on the show. After everything happened, I give this show a 4.5 out of 5. This show was great. This was a great Monday Night Raw, especially after Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber was like a WrestleMania. And John Cena turning heel is one of the biggest moments, not just for the Elimination Chamber PLE, but forever in wrestling history. So they had to follow up with something good, and they did just that. So I think it was a great show. You guys let me know what you think. Go to the community tab. Let me know what you thought of Monday Night Raw. Now we got to get to the nitty gritty. What went wrong with Monday Night Raw? What stuff I didn't like about this show? We gonna get into it, and I'll be very critical with it. You may not agree with me, but I gotta do it. Let me take a deep breath. I've been getting a lot of heat on social media about this, but I gotta say it. Iyo winning, I'm glad she won, but it was the bad timing. She won the title on Raw a couple months after the Rhea Ripley had just won the title at the Raw Netflix debut. That's the only thing I had pushed back with. And Iyo was just champion this time last year, heading to WrestleMania 40. I gotta say it. You weren't the biggest fan of it at first. Great match, but just the ending.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
I was not the big fan of that. But I see what Triple H doing with the booking. I get what he's doing, trying to throw everything off. I get it. I really do. But let's move on. Braun Breaker. I'm getting tired of this Judgment Day trying to gang up on him. I want to see Finn Balor stop being a cowardly heel, have some type. I know he's a heel, but don't be a coward so much and go face Braun up. After all the stuff he talks with Judgment Day, he can handle it. You always need help, Finn. It makes you look weak. I know, despite being a heel, I still don't like it. I still don't like it.
You know what's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So yeah, I did not like that part because they tried that last week trying to gang up on him. They doing it again this week. But then again, it's storytelling. So we'll see how that goes. But let's move on to what went right with Monday Night Raw. And we got to talk about it because I definitely see some good things going on in the future that's setting up right now, especially as we head into WrestleMania. First thing I want to say that I did like, even though it cost her the title, I like that we're finally somewhere are going to get a Bianca and Rhea Ripley incoming feud. Now, we've been talking about this feud for years. Bianca and Rhea, their history, they both came up together in NXT. They're both cool, but we're going to see how that's going to go. But I feel like this how may be inserted to the WrestleMania match, and we're going to talk more about that on the bonus round. But I do like where this is going. It's just it smells great rivalry. I can smell it coming.
Yeet.
So that's one thing I did like on this episode. Also, let's state the obvious. We gotta state the obvious, guys. The kickoff was like no other. Seth and CM Punk kicked off the show. Nothing but animosity. CM Punk cut the fire promo. As soon as Seth music came out, CM Punk ran straight to Seth. They brawled all out. Even CM Punk had, Seth threw a water bottle at CM Punk. It was all, the animosity is real. It's definitely real. And I like it because this definitely sets up things right there. It's a hot feud. This thing is really hot out there. It's really hot. I love the way that these guys are going at it. They are really putting all the real life animosity into the storyline. So I definitely like where this is going. This is great. Great for television. Great for WWE. Great for Punk and great for Rollins. I mean, can you say win-win situation? That's exactly what I see right now. This is exactly a win-win situation. So I definitely like where this is going. This is good. And it's only getting more and more heated. Every time I see Punk and Rollins go at it, the tension just get higher and higher and higher. And there's no way around that. It's just the tensions are high. And I definitely like where this is going with both of these men. So definitely good. Only time will tell what else is going to happen with these men. So it's definitely going there. This feud is, like I said, it could be feud of the year. Both of these men, you have both of these guys going at it. So definitely a plus in my book when it comes to that.
Yeet.
Now, with that being said, the feud is hot right now, but I will say, it only gonna get hotter. Excuse me. It's more fuel to the fire involving this, guys. And the reason I say that because if you guys didn't know, when it came down to the segment of that, and I'm talking between Punk and Rollins, it was just it's hot. And CM Punk only made it that much hotter. And this is when he talked about Becky Lynch, and then Becky Lynch responds on social media. She said this, catching up on Raw, I don't think I'm the one who needs to come get my man. And she's talking about Roxanne Perez and CM Punk wearing matching ring attire at Elimination Chamber PLE, where they both was in men's and women's Elimination Chamber matches. Becky went savage on that one. And I gotta say, maybe that's a story, a loophole they can add Becky, but I like it though.
Yeet.
But this is good stuff, good entertainment. Now, besides that, I will say that like I said, very good things. We're gonna move to current news. Now, current news, we know that Seth Rollins, it's a new show. If you guys didn't know, it's a new show on WWE. It was announced during Monday Night Raw. And, it pretty much replaced the Raw Talk. Remember Raw Talk, guys? That show's no more. No more. That show's gone. They don't have that show anymore. And that show's over with. Thing about it is, they had their first episode immediately after Monday Night Raw. And with that, since they had it after Raw, they also did have the episode, right? I think it's on all podcasts. It's on Apple, Spotify. It's Megan Moran and Sam Roberts. And Seth Rollins was the guest on there. And he talks about CM Punk on there. Now, if you haven't listened to it, maybe you have. But if you haven't, this is somewhat a part of what he had to say. Not the whole clip, but a part of what he had to say about the CM Punk feud that's been going on. And since CM Punk been back to WWE.
Of wrestling in a main event steel cage match inside a building like Madison Square Garden, or has CM Punk completely consumed that part of your brain?
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I am coming right off of getting punched in the mouth and punching somebody in the mouth. My adrenaline is like at an all-time high right now. I got my lungs are bleeding. The only good thing to happen tonight, aside from me getting to punch CM Punk in the face a lot, is that Adam Pearce finally made the right call, locked CM Punk and myself in a cage next week in the Garden, and I can finally make sure that this moron doesn't even make it to WrestleMania. After I feel like he's exhausted all of his opportunities, he's got one favor, some ace up his sleeve, whatever it is. Like, I've got no other choice. He's left me no other choice but to hurt him and take him out. So, to answer your question, when you talk about significance, yes, I love all that. I am a history buff of this industry. I understand the significance of cage matches in Madison Square Garden, the building itself, all that rocks. I'm all about creating moments. But for me, all I feel right now is just this urge to wrap my hands around somebody's neck and hurt them. That's where I'm at right now. And I've reached my breaking point with this guy.
Well, and Seth, you've made it very clear how much you hate CM Punk. You've even said before that he's a guy you wish bad things will happen to. I mean, you've had so many different rivalries throughout your career, but it seems like this hate with Punk goes to another level. What is it about Punk that makes you hate him so much?
I mean, look at the guy. He is a hypocrite. The world is going to sit there and talk about, oh, listen to all these wonderful, great things he said about, this John Cena and the decision he made at the Rumble and The Rock, Dwayne, dude, you've done everything and more that you're accusing these guys of. You're a coward. You're a fraud. You gave on your dream to main event WrestleMania years ago. Years ago. I mean, we don't have to go through all the things that he did in his time away before he came back. I've told this story a million times, and the fact that he has the gall to go out there and spit what he thinks is truth about these guys when he just won't even look in the mirror and talk to himself about all the mistakes that he's made that have made other people suffer. That's the thing. He's made other people suffer and never owned up to it. Okay? So that is a microcosm. Tonight is just a microcosm of all the reasons that I hate this guy. That's why it's different. There's love in other places. There's love for Roman Reigns. Do I agree with what he stands for? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But there's a seed of love in there somewhere. All right? And that makes it more painful. That makes it more painful when I get in there and have to do what I have to do to him. So CM Punk, there's no seed of love. That is gone. He erased that a long time ago. And it's pure, unadulterated hatred. That's all I have for him. And I hate, you mentioned, Sam, you mentioned, the Netflix debut in this match at the Garden. I hate that he's a part of it with me. I hate it so much.
Man, somebody got a lot of hatred for CM Punk. Seth really don't like this man. What do you guys think about that? That's the clip of the Raw recap, brand new show. Man, that is crazy, Seth Rollins. Calm down, man. Man, you taking this too far, man. But man, this is getting real wild, man. Seth got to cool it, but he really do want to give CM Punk that work.
So whether you like it or not, you about to get that work, son.
All right, guys, but that's the end of current news, Monday Night Raw, Elimination Chamber Fallout. But we gotta move forward. We're gonna talk about bonus round. We're gonna talk about Bianca versus Iyo. Let's get that going. I'm gonna get that started right now. Give me a couple moments. We're gonna get that going because this is a new thing going on. And now, as Adam Pearce like to say, is official. We're gonna have this for WrestleMania. But let's get this going. Let's see how this all playing out. All right. All right, we here at the bonus round. All right, we're going to talk about why Bianca Belair versus Iyo Sky at WrestleMania 41 is not best for business. Let's dive into it. Let's discuss it. Now, we're going to talk about some things that I think it's not a good reason. To be perfectly honest, I will say Bianca Belair, she's a box office star. She's a very popular star. She's the face of the women's division. All of that, I give that to her. But Iyo is not. Iyo's a great competitor, great champion. I mean, well, not the best champion. She's a great contender for a championship. She is a great competitor. But due to her last run when she held the WWE Women's Championship on SmackDown, wasn't the best championship, but I don't think she's a box office star. She's a great wrestler, but not a box office star. And the thing about it is, I cannot see how Rhea Ripley just lost a championship and then she immediately just out of the picture. I don't see that happening, guys. Sooner or later, well, of course, sooner because WrestleMania is around the corner. we got to realize that Rhea Ripley is not going to go away from the title scene. So I'm saying that because at some point in the next week or so, Rhea Ripley's going to be inserted back into this match. She will be inserted. She is not about to take this loss sitting down by any means. I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. Maybe others do, but she will be back in the fold. And after what we saw with her and Bianca, they're gonna have a match because Rhea just won the belt. Now, for a while now, I heard the rumors of Iyo versus Bianca. I've have heard that, but I've also heard of an Iyo. I mean Rhea versus Bianca. So I have heard this stuff before, but thing about it is she's gonna be inserted to the match, and I can see this happening because Rhea Ripley's gonna want to find a way to get back into the title picture. We've seen this before. We seen how the whole thing unfolded, and all these women are talented. I'm not taking nothing away from that. All these women are talented, you know. And Iyo deserved to win the women's championship. She won. She beat Rhea fair and square. I have no animosity with that. Io deserved to win the title. When she defeated Rhea, she deserved to win that title. So that's well deserved with with Rhea losing to Io. It's well deserved. Well deserved. So I have no issue with that at all. It's not a problem at all. She deserved that championship. Congratulations to Io winning that championship. But we gotta call spade. She won literally not even full 2 months before WrestleMania. That's the whole thing about that. And thing about it is, Rhea Ripley is still upset that she did not win the championship. She's still upset about that. She's still mad that she didn't bring the title home because Rhea, we thought was going to be the champion headed to WrestleMania for the second year in a row. And it turned out it was not the case because it seemed like Rhea had in the bag, but she let her focus go. But I will say it's going to come to the point where it's going to be all three of these women staring at the title, this image, the way they're looking at it. That's how it's going to go down. That's how it's going to go because we know these three women of Rhea, Iyo, and Bianca, they all have history together. They all have history together. If you guys don't know, these women did come up together during the NXT days. They definitely did that. We saw these women come up. Well, if you followed NXT back then, I remember Rhea was in NXT UK, and Bianca and Iyo. So they could play off the history very well. And I think what's going to happen, Rhea's going to be so upset that she deserves a title shot because she already challenged Bianca. She going to challenge her for her women's title, her WrestleMania title shot for the women's championship. She's going to do that. I can see that happening on Raw. These two are going to go at it at some point. Some people may not want to believe it, but that's the way it's going to go down. These two are going to have a match. I don't see this just one and done between Bianca and Rhea. These two women basically had the same career path. They had it for a while now, and that's the way I see it. But expect these two to bump heads. And I think that's how it will go. And it's going to be the best scenario. Now, thing about it is, with these two, there is money on paper. Rhea and Bianca is more money compared to Bianca and Iyo. It's way more money when you think about it. I can see a money-making match between these two when it comes down to it. I could definitely see that going down. I don't see why it wouldn't go down that way. So you got to keep in mind when it comes down to these two, they're definitely going to have they're going to battle it out. And that's how originally WrestleMania 41 was supposed to go down in the first place between these two. And I would say when they do challenge each other, the match will finish in a double pinfall or DQ or no contest. And then that will leave Adam Pearce no choice, that he will have to make the match that was originally supposed to be Iyo versus Bianca. It's going to end up becoming a triple threat match. And it's going to be Iyo, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley. It will be a triple threat. And I think that's how it's going to go down. It will become that. The way all these three women stood up, this is a great match. Make it a triple threat. I think this would be a great way to do it. You know, you could have Bianca and Iyo, you know, and Rhea all battle it out. Then you have the challenges in Bianca and Rhea. Now, the way I would do that finish, you know, if I have to do it, since Bianca is undefeated at WrestleMania, the way it can happen, you can have Bianca win the title and pins Iyo, keep Rhea Ripley, the former champion, look strong. And Iyo could be pinned. Because I got to be honest, Iyo seems more like a transitional champion. She don't seem like a long-term champion. It's no offense to Iyo. I think she's a great competitor. I know the Iyo Sky fans be upset. Why you say that she's good, she's great, she's better than that? That's my opinion. You know, you have your opinion, I have mine. I think she's a transitional champion, not a long-term champion like Bianca or Rhea. You know, it just all comes on down to booking. Like I said, these three look great on paper. I would rather see these three in the match compared to just seeing Bianca and Iyo. I'd rather see that if we can't get this match of Bianca versus Rhea, the match we all want. But that's how I would do that. Have these three just battle it out for WrestleMania. That's how the booking should go when it comes down to it, guys. And honestly, that's all I have regarding how to book the match. I think it will come down to why Bianca and Iyo at WrestleMania 41 is not best for business. You guys let me know what you think. You know, WrestleMania 41 is around the corner. So let's check that out, see how it goes. Soon, check out the content here, guys. Check out the content, click the links below. Until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It's OU.
Something happened this weekend, and I have been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, you know, doing this for as long as I have and